out of main damage options. With the CC and Lapu-Lapu gone, you're trading for things such as the Phoveus, which might even be a good priority rush pick later on for Omega.
Dude, I miss the Yuzong Angela. Like, that was something that happened before when Angela was a thing.
It's a jumbo heart guard.
Or maybe
the jumbo heart guard and the dragon,
Dude, the summer skin on the Yuzong is amazing. It's just a giant rubber ducky.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully it's the Angela, then they go for something like Thams. Dude, Lord JM is an insane Thams player, dude.
Baksha. Okay, so all three are open. The Angela, but I doubt it's gonna be the Angela Zuchin here.
Yeah, you already see the Baksha on the other side, so don't. Which I think Aqua might lean towards picking up the Kimi yet again. Okay.
Harris.
I still think it should be a Kimi, not a Farsa for Apbr.
Maybe they could also go for the Angela Esmeralda.
Yeah. Okay, that should work out too. We might even see an Esmeralda gold lane, as we saw in previous game tendencies. TNC was able to get a prolific win. I believe it was against Apbr.
Against the Harris too.
Yeah, Harith. Benny Cutie had an Esmeralda gold lane then.
And that was, I think, a lot of team fights won early on too.
Yeah.
So it really boils down to how to execute those fighter gold lanes. And for Omega, they already have a strong magic damage duo here with a good sense of crowd control in that Zushin. Now for Apbr, are you going to go back on that Angela plus the Esmeralda? Or are you just going to get one? They're going to go for Esmeralda, but they're going to go for the Kimi instead. No more Angela for this game.
Yep.
So, no more Angelas?
Yep, no more Angela.
Unless Omega completely forget about it in the second phase. And then we see an Angela somewhere, somehow. I don't know where, but some way, somehow.
Oh, honestly, Omega still can get that Angela in the Rome.
Esmeralda, though.
No, Apbr, okay. It's crazy, but what if they go Jungle Baksha, Angela? Okay, no, they banned it. see, even they acknowledge that Omega was like, they could still go Angela because they could have gone Angela Rome instead.
Yeah.
Put the Baksha in the jungle.
Or maybe even Gold Lane Kimi. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, that would have been sad, but you know, maybe they were willing to take it, so.
Yeah. It's great that they took out the Arlot too. Would have been really great in this lineup.
Zushin Arlot plus the Fredrin is just skirmish 100%. Like, you cannot fight against that Arlot unless you have your own displacement methods. But right now, for the side of Apbr, they're mostly continuous damage. Not much crowd control for Apbr.
So I think Shizo's gonna just end up with a Moskov most likely. Or a carry. Yeah, carry's still open.
The Claude is open too.
For the Claude. Kind of iffy on the Claude.
Yeah, because it's a Harith. And I think we've seen even yesterday how Harith deal with the Claude.
Yeah, Doming
the lane. Doming was...
And it's a Fredrin, because if Omega suddenly, let's say they don't pick up their roamer just yet. If Shizo goes for something like a Claude, you have a Claude Kimi. If the last pick of Omega's a high loss, Claude gets countered. You're already up against a high loss Fredrin and the Harith together. So I don't think there's a room for a Claude.
If not the Claude, I don't think we've seen much gold laners recently. Like, not even the Beatrix has been appearing that much.
Yeah, and Beatrix has been one of the best marksmen in RG as of late. People be spamming that rocket launchers.
But we don't see it here.
Yeah, we don't see it here. That's the big mystery. Like, even Lolita is the best pick in RG, but nobody picks Lolita in MPL.
Yeah.
It's insane, you know, but Red 4 here for the side of Omega. They're still looking for the roam, and they're going to go for that show.
I think we even saw Brody more than the Beatrix recently.
I agree.
So,
I think overall we've seen more Beatrix picks, but recently it's been a little bit more Brody. You did mention the Beatrix. I think that might be okay.
Yeah, the AoE against that Salmon Force.
Yeah, the Kimi and the Beatrix together will be a bit difficult in terms of the team fighting. But whatever Shizo ends up with, I think they're going to be looking at the lane matchup instead. It'll be like, okay, Shizo, what do you feel like playing? What do you think is going to fare better in lane?
Moskov?
Moskov might be one of the things that they're already thinking.
Yeah, at this point, like, Moskov Kimi is something that they play already a lot.
I wonder... Oh!
And they're going to go for the Mathilda, which means that this is going to be a jungle Baksha. plus the Bruno.
Matilda Bruno.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I actually like this. They spread out the damage a little bit more, so there's a good mix of burst, a good mix of sustain, great damage profile for AP Bren. They can rotate around the map very quickly through the Matilda and Baksha. Good sustain as well. Great shields, great picks by AP Bren.
Yeah, like a lot of mobility, but not a lot of hold though.
Yeah.
For the side of AP Bren, they could potentially go for a lot of long-standing team fights, but looks like James is gonna go back to his first pick here in this series on that Khalid. Meanwhile, here for the side of Omega, just tons of crowd control piled up against each other.
Yeah, I mean, this is really helpful in terms of chasing these high mobility heroes that AP Bren currently has. And even earlier, without the Flying Clouds map, we saw how James was just always as reliable in finding his way around the team fight. So one more now that you could potentially utilize the clouds, even, well, hopefully not because you're trying to defend your base, but just so you could find your way through these team fights faster. And that's gonna be so much helpful for Smart Omega in this kind of scenario. If AP Bren are really going to be that team fight heavy team, which they likely will be considering the way that they drafted around a Matilda Bruno Baksha in the jungle.
Well, after two exciting games, with the first one going all the way to 25 minutes, in game two with a comeback victory from Omega via split push.
Welcome to Mobile Legends!
Our first best of 3 series with AP Bren and a Smart Omega for day 2 of week 5. I'm already dropping all of my expectations for this game 3. I'm just gonna let it happen, bro.
Hey, oh my gosh, look at this. All purifies for AP Bren and all flickers for Smart Omega.
Yeah, I love it. It's just on one side you have strong crowd control, you want to avoid. The other side you just want to be able to sidestep so that you have better positioning and kiting capabilities. And look, Omega got the yellow spells. AP Bren got the green spells.
I love color coding.
Nice who can't see that. He's colorblind.
Oh, no.
Hey.
That's actually true. That's actually true. You know, Nice who would laugh if he heard that. And obviously he will because he's watching right now.
Yes.
A slight 2v2 here in the mid lane. And I feel like the sheer sustain of this Matilda would just negate a lot of the pressure in the mid lane. But XP lane would be a different story. A lot of sustain, a lot of damage thrown against each other.
Yeah. I feel like it's, compared to the previous heroes that Xnova has been using though, it's not entirely that hero to constantly scout the members or of Smart Omega, so it'll be more of really providing support. So that might just be the way to go for AP Bren here. I mean, it's not like you compromise much by not revealing the enemies so much. You're able to help clear anyway, so you still get those independent gold and EXP, and that might be the way to go for now. But if they find James Pax here, we'll try to disrupt him a bit, but he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, pretty standard rotations that we're seeing so far. Super Yoshi versus Xnova. Just waiting for the ability to go up. Okay, so Yoshi does have a considerable lead against Matilda in terms of getting EXP. I think it's a huge comfort right now for Omega.
Ouch!
Big yikes.
That's so fast.
James was there too, so you could really expect the damage to be more than enough, but who would have thought that it could be an immediate pick-off onto Xnova, who, by the way, used the dash and the Purify, and now it's Ryzen who gets to secure the objective as well. But James Pax, they're all fighting back. Super Yoshi forced to use the Flicker. James too will have to use his just to survive the damage output that AP Bren surprisingly has.
Ryzen didn't even use Retribution. Only James Pax did, and he was crowd controlled. Ryzen won that without using Retri.
It's Aura, dude. He just secured that turtle with Aura, and now they're going to ride the clouds into the sunset, back to their lanes. And Omega securing that first turtle means that they will have a better time early game, and this is something that they want to do against AP Bren in this Matilda lineup.
Yep.
You don't want to extend this game at all.
Definitely should, because this is a Khalid who, again, is also able to rotate out so much faster, is able to dish out much more damage, and look at Netsky even. He too actually wants to take on this fight, forces Shizu under the turret, and this is not even against a Claude, but Harrods are still able to do this in the lane.
It's gonna be so hard for this for this Bruno to farm up until he's able to get his Haas clause. I'm actually checking right now if he's somewhere near to that Haas clause. He still has the Vampiric Scepter, which means that he's able to at least lifesteal a bit, but it's extremely hard against a Harry that throws out those synchro visions left and right.
Oh, Raging Sandstorm used into the Quick Sand Guard. Nearly got the kill on James Pangs. That was such a well-timed combo. Like, it wasn't immediately the Quick Sand Guard just to heal up. He wanted to do some sort of outplay.
Wanted to fight.
Yeah, and that was actually, that could have been a massive outplay for James because he timed the use of the Raging Sandstorm so that he doesn't get crowd controlled by the shield unity. Instead, when James Pangs bumps into the Khalid, he's the one who gets stunned by the Raging Sandstorm, and James Pangs was brought really low. So I love that little exchange that we saw.
Yeah, and we learned something new, something to do against a Raging Baksha if you're able to play the Khalid as the second turtle of the game spawns. That's a crucial ultimate thrown out here by Aqua, and the purple buff secured as well for Ryzen. I feel like Omega still has that lead against the side of Apbr in this upcoming turtle fight.
They're freezing it so well. They're making things so much slower for Apbr, for Aqua, and now Ryzen. Once again, could he potentially secure this objective for his team?
Oh, no.
The Falling Star Moon didn't connect onto anyone. Super Yoshi still not using the Way of the Dragon, but there are two separate fights happening across the map. James, Raging Sandstorm, still connects onto Aqua, and the Lantern Flare will actually finish off the kill. Haji using the Flicker to reposition as well, but the other members of Apbr, they're trying to chase, but Netsky, part of the picture, forces them to run away instead.
And this extended team fight leads to this turtle. Omega still continuing to this objective, but Lord JM providing a bit of vision. I feel like that's going to be a 1v1. No, make that a 2v1 up top.
Oh my goodness, James and Netsky together. How could Shizu deal with this? He can't. Another Falling Star Moon, but Ryzen with the Retribution will still secure the objective at the expense of his own life.
All right, let's see if Apbr can get a little bit more after this. Even though they lost the turtle, they got a kill up. No, they lost Shizu. So let's see if they can turn things around. Nope. Omega just eventually walks away with wins all across the map.
Yeah.
They get Shizu down, they get the turtle, and now let's see how Apbr are going to be able to swing it. Because I don't think Shizu is at a comfortable spot right now in terms of his farm. Let's compare. Yeah, it's getting close to a 1,000 gold lead for that Harith compared to that Bruno. Only up to a Haas class, which at this point, considering the lead that Omega was able to build for themselves, it's not enough.
Oh no, wow. Big milestone here for Haji. It's his 500th game in MPLPH history, the 4th player to reach this achievement. Truly has grown with us in this league through different roles, through different teams. And right now, as Smart Omega's trusted veteran, they're going to be able to defend this top lane. Netsky already there. Here comes a concealed play. Super Yoshi doesn't find one.
Yep, he won't be using the Way of the Dragon yet again. I was supposed to mention how it feels as if he's a bit more cautious about using the Way of the Dragon. He's not as aggressive, but there goes the Traction Pulse, catches Ryzen, and the stun from the Baksha Shield Unity 2. They take down the turret and are so much more confident to fight, but the Appraiser's Wrath catches onto them. James is there as well to provide some follow-up from behind. James might be the next target. Two-man knock-up, a double kill, make it a triple for James. He's still trying to go for the chase. Netsky trying to take it out, but he gets to take down Lord JM instead.
What a team fight here for Apbr. They lost 4 people with their sheer aggression.
They tried to make a play. They wanted to be the ones to set the tempo, but then it was James and his late entry turning things around. 4-0 into that triple kill. And at that point, Lord JM could only try to trade, but Netsky was able to outplay him underneath the turret.
Look at his gold right now.
Playing like a carry.
Yeah, man is balling. And with that last turtle, I feel like Apbr gonna try to rush this one. Super Yoshi right underneath that bush, but Ryzen in the vicinity!
Oh, wow! He still gets to secure it, not even with a knockup from Super Yoshi just yet. And now Lord James the first to fall. There goes the assistance that comes in from X-Nova, but it's not gonna be enough. Only just to keep them safe, but oh my goodness, Smart Omega! Ryzen has been so on point in this, on all these objective steals.
James too, man. On those team fights, just finding the angles on that Raging Sandstorm.
That steal by Ryzen. Leo calls him Sneaky Dean for a reason. He got that split push earlier, He steals another objective. I don't know why my accent changed all of a sudden, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you see Ryzen play like this. And about to reach his brute force breastplate as we peek into the Infinix in-game equipment. This is something that we did not expect from this lineup. We know that the early game is going to be huge here for Omega, but the way that they've played their team fights, the way that they've found their angles, their objectives, has been way better than AP Bren would ask for.
The Khalid has more gold than the Bruno.
Oh my.
That's how you know it's bad. Shizu was not able to keep close to the farm. That I'm pretty sure that triple kill by Lord JM, James,
Yeah.
two Jameses,
Two
was
James.
able to launch him up top.
Two James! I'm sorry, dude. I just had to. There was a chance. Wait.
Okay.
Super Yoshi still looking.
Someday I will understand.
I swear you're gonna kill me today, man.
I'm sorry, dude. That's two James. Okay, 20 seconds before the next Lord, and we were talking about both of the James here. James is just insane in this match. A lot of gold, even more than Shizo. That's just sad if you're AP Bren.
Yeah, the way that even Ryzen, that one time where he didn't have to use the retribution was shocking news, because he's the only guy with deaths in Smart Omega's lineup.
Yeah.
And that's how much space he's able to make, and that's how much he's able to do his job as the Frederick, as the utility jungler. I don't think we're able to feel the effect of the Mathilda just as much in this fight so far. Falling Star Moon already committed by Lord JM though, but he will potentially get immediately bursted down by Netsky with his Zaman Force. Now it's James Pax who gets taunted. Multiple men knock up by the Lord, but James Pax, he could not tank it any further. Multiple members of Smart Omega are quite low, but they can still handle this. They can still hold on. X-Nova trying to serve as the front, but that's only Shizo and Aqua by his side. It's gonna be very dangerous if they decide to fight.
Yeah, AP Bren, they could have maybe, but it was just way too risky. Considering that James was still relatively healthy and that we know that the Khalid has a lot of farm, he still deals a lot of damage. One concussive blast could have ended AP Bren. Even though Ryzen was really low, they made the right call there in the end to just hold on and just concede it. Now Netsky has a Holy Crystal, while Shizo just built Berserker's Fury at 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time until you start feeling the damage of AP Bren.
Yeah.
A good amount of the damage that Omega felt came from the Lord in that last one.
The Malefic Gun's gonna take like 3 more minutes for the side of AP Bren. Now the Lord is marching down mid lane. Haji pops the Crimson Beacon, does fight.
Oh!
4-man stun from the Raging Sandstorm of James. Super Yoshi doesn't find a target again, but the Appraiser's Wrath lands onto multiple members. James Pax finds the kill on Lord JM2, and they take down the tier 2 turret in the mid lane and the bottom lane.
Brother, the AoE on Raging Sandstorm, I swear it's a bit bigger for James.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's like, dude, how are you consistently hitting that? All the Raging Sandstorms he's committed so far in this game hit. If it's not going to be a big AoE set, it's onto one dude to try and outplay him. Close to a 2,000, actually already up to a 2,000 plus gold lead for the two side laners. It's terrible news here for AP Bren because, again, I don't think they do have the capability to turn it around yet. Even if they decide to commit a full-on team fight, one big Zaman Force and it's over.
Yeah, they gotta move out the moment that they see that Zaman Force. And for AP Bren, now that they're down by 8k, this just means one thing. It's gonna be a long farming period and they need to defend again and again. This next Lord, Renmar, just want a quick check. Can they actually contest?
They can try, maybe poke down the frontliner who's trying to provide vision. If you could get one down and the Lord's still relatively healthy and you are too, then maybe you can continue the fight. But as long as you don't get vision on where the Khalid and the Cho is, it's way too risky.
And I think that is probably one of the things that's caused by this Purify lineup. Like, I don't know if it's in a way forcing them to play a bit more defensively. I know you probably have to invest in some Purifies just because of the nature of the lineup that Omega has, but what's next after that? Because you barely see the counter-engage capability come out from AP Bren once they use the Purifies and dodge the, let's say, Raging Sandstorms, which time and time again land to 4 or 5 members of AP Bren. They could barely do anything to fight back anyway, so what more if they try to start things themselves? I fear that it's gonna be a huge problem for AP Bren.
The consistent crowd control that comes in from Omega too. The Zhu Shin is a big problem against this all Purify lineup. The moment that the Raging Sandstorm burns through that Purify, it's just going to be a field time here for Haji.
Yeah, and that's why we've seen Haji go 109 so far. They will try to contest, just try to provide vision. Shizo already has Malefic Gun. Maybe it's enough. Maybe.
Yeah. But who makes the call? Is it going to be James Pass? Is it going to be X-Nova? Traction Pulse and Falling Star Moon do not land onto anyone. No, that's 2 resources already committed by AP Bren even before the fight breaks out.
Yeah, they also force out the Crimson Beacon from Haji though, so let's see. I think if Traction Pulse can get back during this Lord Dance, they might be using that as an initiation tool to force out a reaction from Omega. Once someone has burned their Flicker or Dash, then they go.
Okay, Super Yoshi trying to look for a target, or actually just trying to zone. Now uses the Way of the Dragon just to kick James Pax further from the Lord, but they're still gonna force their way through. Aqua also using the Traction Pulse are actually able to pour in decent amount of damage, and it's Lord JM who actually secures the objective for his team. Energy Eruption though will be landing onto James Pax. Now they're trying to find back, but Netsky doesn't have the Zaman Force anymore, and none of the members of Smart Omega could fight.
How did he get that?
Toss a coin for Lord JM, Mr. 50-50, for a reason.
And he gets it. You know what? Let's go back to what we said last game. KDA doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Lord JM currently 0-4-2. Might have saved the game here for AP Bren by securing that Lord. Both junglers had Retribution. But it had to be Lord JM securing that Lord. Even for AP Bren as they go for their first push. It's a 7k gold lead for Omega, but we don't feel that right now. The damage is starting to hurt coming in from Aqua.
Yeah. Now James again looking for an angle all the way from the other side of the map. Ooh. Force a bit of reaction from AP Bren, so at least they buy some time to defend.
Shizo might not have been able to farm as much, but Aqua definitely did. Conceal play.
Super Yoshi.
Okay, is it Super Yoshi this time around who'll try to look for an angle, gets the knock up onto 2 members, but still doesn't commit the Way of the Dragon. Forces the Circling Eagle instead, and respecting the damage of AP Bren, they will not continue the fight.
Oh wait, this is anybody's ball game at this point. This 7k gold lead doesn't matter anymore.
Shizo and Aqua, their damage is online despite being down 7,000 in gold. That is insane. And now Omega, I think they're surprised by it. Now they're wondering, wait, why does everything hurt right now?
Ain't we in the lead? It's our ball.
Yeah, it's a 7,000 gold lead, but AP Bren says, no, it's 45-45, 47-47, and we're very close in gold. But they're not mathematically.
To be fair, X-Nova, I mean, the sustain he's able to provide at this point, if they're the ones being a bit more aggressive, could be just as reliable to tear through some of the members of Smart Omega. And Renmar did mention this too. They could start things slow, front to back, one by one, but they need to be careful of where the other members are, because now they do not have information on where James could potentially come from. But they pour everything onto Ryzen. Now they go and start the fight. Circling Eagle already committed. Multiple members knocked up by the Lantern Flare. James lands the Raging Sandstorm once again, and Super Yoshi finds the perfect target. Shizu falls, but the Falling Star Moon will land as well. Aqua still dealing damage. Finds 2 members away from Smart Omega. Ryzen might be the next target. He's just trying to run away. But can he? Up against 4. It's a triple for Aqua.
And you have 2 people defending here for the side of Omega. That 8k gold lead, you throw it in the bin right now. Haji's forced to flicker. That turret is going to go nowhere as the Flying Cloud brings him near that other turret, and he goes down, and that's that space!
Falling Star Moon, and the follow-up is enough! It's only James trying to clear the minion wave, but he successfully finds a way!
Yoshi in 3, Netsky in 5! They will back off! Omega holds on! My goodness, what a trade! Aqua walking away with that triple kill. AP Bren will be able to get this Lord without a problem. Omega will just try to get close to it to try and delay, but I don't think they'll be able to beat AP Bren to this. The Bruno and the Kimmy eventually worked.
Oh, wow. And you could see it in the faces of AP Bren during that fight. It took more than 5 seconds for them to pop one Purify, and they were already just lasting so long in front of the front lines of Omega. Oh no, this was already Omega's game to win with a 9K gold lead, 8K gold lead, now down to 1, equalized. Looking at the Infinix in-game equipment, Aqua hits like a truck. Holy Crystal locked in with the Divine Glaive.
Yeah, and I wonder how many stacks he has on that Sky Piercer. Captain Aqua has been performing out of his mind in this game, although that traction pulse will not necessarily land. Haji feeling the damage again, had to use the Crimson Beacon just to escape the Falling Star Moon as well. They also have to take care of the Lord up top, but Aqua, he's managing James all alone in this mid lane, and they're eventually able to take down all remaining base turrets away from Smart Omega.
It looks like Omega going to be able to melt down that Lord, but there's still one big minion wave down mid lane. Will Apbr pull the trigger here? Looks like they won't for now. They're going to go for the turret down bot instead. That's an easy push here for Aqua as the side of Omega still struggles to defend against these waves.
Yeah, they already used the Worldie. I think there was a conceal that got revealed as well, but Apbr, they're not going for the full commit just yet. Crimson Beacon in, coming in from Haji. It might be Smart Omega who wants to start a fight this time, but Apbr,
still trying.
they just decide to regroup. They don't fight back, and respecting Smart Omega.
This is the moment in my ranked games where I'm spamming initiate retreat, initiate retreat.
There's not much to get anymore.
Yeah, you guys are good. Like, unless, are they really gonna try to force something, hoping that they get someone picked off or pulled away? The chances of that happening are very low. At this point, Apbr are just keeping Omega in their base right now.
And they have the sustain to back it up.
Yeah,
that's what hurts the most.
There are flying clouds, there are immortalities, everything. They need to take these things into account. But the Falling Star Moon is going to connect onto 3 members. Zaman Force also used by Netsky. But Smart Omega, they just decide to dodge everything. Apbr, they're not really going for the full commit.
They're just burning through the resources that the base pumps out. Omega can't even get out of their own base.
Yeah, talk about Lord defense. This is a Lord dance. This is a base dance. But why? Are you just forcing reactions?
Maybe they're just running this out with the Matilda. Here goes the Flying Cloud. It looks like Lord JM going to be flying out of that base, but Super Yoshi!
It's time! He finds a kick, but the hit denied! Netsky is the first to fall. Super Yoshi next. James Haji Ryzen doing their very best to defend, but can they do it? A Bracer's Wrath lands. James finds the target, but his immortality gets popped as well, and he has the flicker to survive, but Shizu will not let him.
Ring the bell.
That's a shutdown for him. And after 3 hard-fought games, it does seem like Apbr eventually takes the series.
And after hard-fought games, the victor of the first series are the Bees. Apbr taking game number 3.
What a series! And yeah, Apbr, they kept forcing that issue. Instead of going back and managing the map, they baited Omega into that. They baited Super Yoshi into that. It was like, come on, we're here. Which one of you guys is going to pull the trigger first? Once they saw that cloud, they retreated, readjusted. Netsky brought down his Zaman Force and got blasted immediately because he dropped it onto 5. But then he dashed into 5 as well.
Yeah, and that's just Omega losing out of the series. Still near the lower half of our Infinix standings, but not too dangerous as of now. And actually one of the best series to watch for week number 5. And now
fans.
for the Apbr fans, just having a lot of fun in the MPL arena right now. And we will be able to talk to the victors of this match number 1 with our host. Let's all welcome Apbr in the main stage.
An incredible start to the triple header, getting the win. Here are your winners, Apbr! Ibang klase yung pinakita nyo doon. You were able to hold off yung nagmisulang Aqua, kwentuhan mo naman kami dun sa nangyaring laban. I wanna talk to you about it. Kasi nung game number 1 and game number 3, parehas yun, comeback yun. Kasi you were kind of struggling in the early game, diba? So, what was the conversation? Ano yung naging pag-uusap nyo bago yung laban na hindi nyo talaga sinuko at nakuha nyo pa rin yung panalo?
Siguro yun, naghihintay lang kami ng farm para ayun, tsaka tiwala kami sa isa't isa na kaya pa namin makabawi. Ayun.
That's exactly what they did, Odin.
We saw your discipline doon sa mga naipanalo yung games. And Aqua, nakausap namin yung different roles na XP, Roamer, dito sa Project Next. For you as a mid laner, ano ba yung pinaka-advantage para sa role mo? Pinaka-advantage na nakita mo ngayong Project Next for mid laners?
Siguro yung sa room, kailangan parang pagalingan kung sino sa pagdating sa vision, pagalingan sila ng room tsaka sa mid. Parang nagtatago-taguan din kung sino unahan sa level 2, gano'n.
So talagang tandem lagi ang mid at roam pagdating sa ating mga rotations.
Yeah, and that's one of the firsts na narinig natin. Kasi kadalasan, di ba, puro roam talaga. But now, the mid is added. Si James Punks naman, nasa niya sumisigaw para kay James. Ayun o!
Ang daming fans!
James Punks, man, napakarami mong tropa at supporters na nagpunta para sa araw na to. I wanna talk to you about, last week. Kasi last week, it wasn't the best result na nakita namin mula sa inyo. Pero ngayon, second round na. How did you reset? Ano yung ginawa nyo bago magsimula itong laban na to para makuha nyo yung panalo?
Ang ginawa lang po namin, same pa rin kung ano ginagawa namin nung nakaraan. Tsaka kung paano kami nakareset, nag-usap-usap lang kami. Tapos yun, pinag-usapan namin yung next naming planong gagawin. Tapos yun, laban na ulit.
At alam mo, Hans, nakita ko kasi si James Punks after that game number 2 na na-comeback sila ng Smart Omega. All smiles pa rin ang pinakita ni James Punks. So talagang evident na nagre-reset talaga sila every after the game. And bilang jungler game, James Punks, ano sa tingin mo yung pinakaganang mapa sa'yo considering na isa ka sa mga junglers na may wide hero pool?
Tingin ko naman kung isa lang yung grass. Pero kung sa akin sa jungle, tingin ko naman lahat kaya ko anuhin
I love that.
Yun nga, na-experience mo lahat yung pag-iiba ng mapa because there were different modes na nilaro nyo all throughout the series. Malaki ba yung epekto nun or somewhat ganun pa rin yung galaw nyo kumpara nung recent or nung last patch na meron tayo?
Tingin ko po wala naman masyadong effect kasi clouds lang din yung nabago Parang makakatulong lang siya pag sa laning din sa early. Kasi yun nga, lumilipad ka. Pag napokas sa lane, makakabalik agad. Kaya di naman malaking
Just one last thing. Pasalamatan mo naman ang lahat na sumusuporta sa'yo at yung iba na nanonood sa kanilang mga tahanan.
Thank you so much sa inyo guys sa mga sumusuporta dito sa venue tsaka sa mga bahay-bahay. Yan lang. Ingat kayo palagi tsaka supportahan nyo lang kami.
There we finally have it. Once again, your winners, Apbr! Just a solid all-out performance coming in from the Beast, showcasing what they can do. At ngayon, from a winless Week 4 to an outstanding Week 5.
It has been a series of comebacks na nakita natin sa kanilang tapatan. But at the end of the day, ang pinakamahalaga ay kung sino makakuha ng huling panalo sa kanilang pagtatapat. And just like their meeting nung first round ay nakuha natin ang same result with Apbr winning against Smart Omega.
Ako, maraming pag-uusapan ang ating mga casters. Kaya naman casters, inyo na to.
Thank you so much, Hans and Odin, of course, to Apbr as well. Welcome back to the desk. It's still Uomi and Brigida and Renmar to bring you the breakdown for game number 3. That was such an intense series, and with the ending in game number 3, every game was a comeback game for whoever won.
Yeah, it's nuts when you think about it. And I think this is now, unfortunately, this is already the round 2 of them. If ever somehow these two can make it to the playoffs, I hope they are each other's first round matchup.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Because it's the exact same outcome as what happened in the first half. 8-1 for Apbr. So Smart Omega, they're yet to get their revenge away from them. And by the way, props to X-Nova. He wasn't that much of the... he didn't have that much of the spotlight in the first few minutes of the game, but when they were all grouped up, you were starting to feel it.
Yeah, he was providing a lot of shields and the vision, and think some of the Circling Eagle knockups that he could get also just came in the clutch. But definitely when you see a Matilda in your lineup, even though we weren't able to see him like set the tempo with his rotations, it was, again, it was in the counterplay, the shields provided, the sustain provided, that once Aqua already had the Divine Glaive Blood Wings and Shizo already built up to the Malefic Gun third item, that's when we really started to see the value of this Matilda in team fights.
Yeah, and so far for this game, it was left and right for these team fights. I feel like in the early parts of the game, it was given that Omega had a great lead, a tremendous lead even. Maybe Bren almost always bit more than they could chew in those early fights, but the moment that they got their items, the moment that the sustain came in or kicked in here for the side of Apbr, it was severely hard for Omega to find the targets that they were easily accessing in the early game.
Yeah, imagine there was a point where James had much more gold than Shizu, and that was, again, after the triple kill that he was able to secure up top. So clearly, your XP laner was already looking like the carry, and everyone else was around that same level of gold lead against their counterparts. So you could have really thought that this game was Omega's, but...
Ooh, knock-up.
The knock-up.
Yeah, knock-up from the Lord. Literal divine intervention so that Ryzen couldn't retry, and in the end, it was Lord JM, Mr. 50-50.
Yeah, just finding that play. I mean, Lord JM on this game, what if he wasn't able to secure that Lord? What if he chickened out and did ulti right inside the pit? This would have been a very different game, because that Lord steal coming in from Apbr made sure that the next few minutes for Apbr was them keeping up from that 8k gold lead.
Yeah, I feel like Lord JM was such a reliable Esmeralda in this game. He's not the guy to always go in first with the Falling Star Moons, but when you see the traction pulses coming in, he will always make sure to provide that follow-up Falling Star Moons. And even when he starts like going in by himself, even when it doesn't land, it doesn't connect, what matters is that he throws it out. And he's been doing that multiple times in this game. So I'm liking this performance that we're seeing from Lord JM.
And here, this is where Omega, again, I feel like they were just like, come on, this has been going on too long. Let's do something. Let's press buttons and fight. When they shouldn't have. They were already managing everything so well, but they played the ultimate risky play and they got punished for it. Apbr, it looks like they were just like, hey, Omega, come here, man, let's fight. And Omega fell into that. Apbr played that beautifully.
Yeah, and the moment Netsuki just went down, they already knew it was over. You even called it. That it was already finished the moment that Netsuki got bursted in front of all of the people of Apbr. And now with this 21-minute game, this confirms that this entire series is an hour long.
Oh, wow.
The 3 games that we watched, the game 1 was 25. Game 2 was around 18 to 20 minutes, and this one's 21. So, oh my. 3 games, 1 hour of pure MLBB action, peak team fighting though. This is like the best scrappy team fighting that I've ever seen so far in Season 16.
We were so close to beating records of like the longest game. Although we didn't, we were a minute away from beating the longest game record, but overall the series was really long, and it was a well-fought series between these two teams. Like I could feel how draining it probably was for Smart Omega, but you could see it. Like they nearly had it multiple times, so maybe just a few things to tweak here and there.
Yeah, so, I mean, similar to our cuisines. If the Indonesian brawl style is too spicy, the Filipino brawl style is too sweet at times. No, you just find those moments that make you go, wow, all right.
Sometimes if it's not sweet, sometimes it's too sour. People just come in left and right under turrets, like,
Wow. You did that earlier.
And sometimes the timing is just so precise that you still go, like with Super Yoshi just going in for that Jeet Kune Do kick as well.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. Like, it's so hard to dissect this in a way that it's completely logical. Just because the team fighting that we've seen here, it's not completely devoid of logic, but it does not follow the norms of how team fighting is in the Philippines. Most of them just it looks like it's episodic even. Like
Yes.
some of it would start, then stop, then start again, and then suddenly there's a plot twist at the end.
Yeah, after multiple flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't